Hello, everybody, and welcome to Electric City Sentai Denzicaster here on Geek, Carolina. We are in Studio D, also known as his house. So, folks, I'm your host, Mike, and this week I'm joined by
Roger.
I'm David.
And two jabronis you ain't seen on the show in a while is what they're also known as. So,
Woo! I'm Jabroni 1.
I'm not a jabroni.
So, if part of the room we're in looks familiar to you, specifically that blue backdrop, this is actually where 8-Star Anime gets shot. So, and we're going to be doing an
Welcome
episode,
to my home.
we're going to be doing an episode of 8-Star Anime here today, shortly after we tape this. It's been a while since we just said, screw it, we're watching a movie. So today we said, screw it, we're watching a movie. And we watched Kikaider Reboot. Now, in keeping with what I have been doing on recent episodes to help keep the runtime shorter, if you want to know the summary, that's what Google is for. So,
I approve of this message.
if you want an idea of what Kikaider, like a full summary and all that, please wiki that stuff.
It's robots punching robots, dude.
With slightly Terminator music in it.
So, first impressions of Kikaider Reboot, Raj.
I enjoyed it. I like a solid robot, fighting on robot fighting movie with stuff like Battle Angel Alita coming out in theaters. I think it's like time for a big cyborg comeback. But I enjoyed what I saw of it. I liked it.
Okay, and you saw most of it. You didn't.
Yeah.
You didn't pull a typical Roger on Denzicaster and walk in halfway through.
Yeah, I saw about 75% of it.
Yeah. Dave.
What the hell? I don't know what's going on. There's robots punching robots, fighting over whether humans have souls or not, whether robots have souls. I don't know, man. I got lost.
I've been watching Tokusatsu for...
This is the first Tokusatsu I've watched in a long time.
That's true. I've watched Tokusatsu for...
He's gotten used to the normie movies.
I've watched Tokusatsu for over 20 years at this point in my life. I was lost at different points during this. So if I was lost, I figured these two guys had no hope whatsoever.
I wasn't lost. I knew I could follow the movie fine, but I just enjoyed it.
Well, when I say I was lost...
It's not that the story you get lost in. It's like, what's the point?
Yeah, I mean...
I guess some more like kind of morality play.
This was about roughly a 2-hour movie. I think it actually clocks in at like an hour and 46 minutes, which truthfully was about 46 minutes too long. This movie drug a lot. If you're not familiar with Kikaider, and he's not,
No.
Kikaider was created by Shotaro Shinomori, the same guy that created Kamen Rider. Originally, if I remember my timeline correctly, originally it's a manga. And then after that, it was a live-action series, which had a sequel, Kikaider 01. And then after that, I want to say almost in the 90s-ish, it got an anime adaptation, which was Android Kikaider, and then there was a miniseries for Kikaider 01. And now there is Kikaider Reboot, which is at this point about 3 or 4 years old. And I almost feel as if they expected you to be familiar with Kikaider walking into this movie.
Mm-hmm.
They were mistaken.
Yeah. I think it feels to me like there was a certain dependency on knowing the source material before you ever walked in, which this movie is essentially Kikaider's origin. It is what it says it is. It's a reboot.
Mm-hmm.
You really shouldn't have to have a base knowledge of the source material when you walk into a reboot. That's what I always thought was. That's what I thought was brilliant about like Batman Begins
Or the Star Trek
or
reboots.
or the 2009 Star Trek. You didn't have to know a thing about Batman walking into Batman Begins.
Exactly. They're going to tell you the story from A to B to C.
Yeah, and
knowing who the old Vulcan is helps, but doesn't change anything about the story or not in the Star Trek reboot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So my first impression, it was longer than it needed to be. That was my first impression.
Every opportunity this movie had to showcase the humanity of the characters, which seemed to be so important, was lost. They would build up these dramatic moments and then go do something else. Or there would be this threat and then go do something else. It's like they got kidnapped and they're fighting on top of a building, and then the newspaper guy just climbed up the side of the building and goes, "Hey, let's go. Let's go.
Let's go get ice cream."
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's.
Did it feel? This just occurred to me as you said that, because one of the things that I had mentioned to try to help, any time that something popped up that I recognized from Kikaider history, I tried to pass it along. Did they really just do way too damn much?
I guess in a way you could say that. It's kind of like the Avatar: The Last Airbender movie had the problem of trying to jam 13 hours, 26 episodes into a 2-hour movie and succeeded at doing nothing right.
Here that realistically they went from the first episode of Kikaider almost all the way to the end, or into Kikaider 01, the sequel series.
Right.
Because the
bad guy putting himself in the robot.
Yeah, Professor Gill putting himself in the robot.
What would the robot do? Apparently punch buildings down.
Oh, yeah.
In the gist of Kikaider is here, which is he is an android created by Professor Komyoji.
Kind of with a soul, kind of a la Astro Boy.
A little bit. There was an inspiration there where he's meant to help mankind, and he's provided a conscience circuit in order to make him more relatable and safer for humans.
But it also weakens him fighting against other robots.
I mean, realistically, Will Smith movie I, Robot did this so much better.
Never seen it.
If you've read the book and then you go into the movie, you'll be sad. But if you just watch the movie, it's fine.
Whereas here, if you watch the TV show and then watch the movie, you might have a better idea what's going on. If you just watch the movie, you'll be sad.
Yeah.
I'm
sad.
They went through the whole thing where it's, here's the conscience circuit, and the gist of the TV show and the manga was always that the relationship between him and Komyoji's children, who come to see him as a brother,
right,
which never happens here.
Well, they do start bonding.
Yeah.
But then they're snatched away so quickly.
It feels more of a Terminator 2 relationship here.
Very much so. All the way down to, at certain points, you get the bum 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 bum.
And the romping in the water.
Yeah. There's some Terminator moments in this.
You just imagine that Sarah Connor over speak when they're playing together,
Yeah. But there is that which leads up to the finale and the big showdown with Kikaider, which is Professor Gill's android, meant to surpass Jiro in every way, Kikaider, and he disables the conscience circuit, but the thing is, he didn't need the circuit to have a conscience. It's being with humanity that gave him a conscience. And you never get that out of this, I don't think.
Well, at the end where he's like, I sacrificed my soul to save everybody else's, I liked that.
Yeah.
Sure.
And it kind of shows a moment where...
I fight him for you.
Well, no, that there's still more to the robot than just a machine.
Yeah.
Sure. What did we like? Something you liked in the movie, Raj?
I liked costumes. I liked all the hard plastic robots fighting pretty much, or androids fighting around. I liked stunt sequences. There's one sequence where he just throws the woman off of a bridge into a truck, and I was like,
and catches her. And he jumps and then catches her in the truck.
Pretty much, yeah. I liked all the stunt sequences, and I liked the whole family life showing between Masaru and Mikoto at home,
Yeah,
and
Mitzi.
then yeah. And I like some of the other stuff, the everyday stuff, but I felt it slowed down the action and it slowed down the movie's pacing.
Yeah.
Whenever they cut to the daily life of these two, if you're not doing something related to androids, it's slowing the movie down.
Yeah, I liked the visuals are fantastic. The action is top notch. The costuming is top notch.
The music was solid.
The soundtrack is good. The costumes were better than they had any right to be. To be honest, if you are, because this is by Toei, so this is the same folks that make Kamen Rider and all that, but this is Toei on a motion picture budget. What did you like?
The actress that played the evil robot woman.
Okay,
she was pretty.
And
Maki.
The funny thing
Maki, I think.
The funny thing is, unless I'm really
Maki or
really,
Mari?
I think or Maki.
Or Mari.
I think it was Mari.
It's one of the above. There's an M-A, a consonant, and an I.
Yeah.
unless I'm really, 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 really mistaken, she is actually, there is an analog character to her from the anime and manga, but she's a good guy. And she helps Kikaider.
I think as the movie goes through, she kind of becomes a neutral.
She's kind of like an anti-hero about halfway through, because I think she saved him at one point, or stopped him from getting killed.
She stopped
from killing him.
And then I think she stopped them later on from...
Well, she arrives, and that's what makes Kikaider stop.
Yeah.
Which in this, we never get Kikaider as the robot by itself, which there is in the regular show. Professor Gill puts his brain in later.
I think it's funny you guys were praising the costumes. Everything about the visuals of this movie is good to me, except the robot costumes.
Okay, so let's jump into the negativity.
I love the special effects of his kind of 3D. He looks like a teen, and then when they touch him, you can see the robot underneath.
Yeah, visual effects.
I thought that was really cool, but their costumes just looked traditional television Saturday morning stuff to me.
Ultraman kind of stuff.
Well, it's cartoony and over the top. They're not. It's not any realism to it.
When we stop recording, I will show you a picture of the original Kikaider costume.
Well, I mean, it may look worse, but it's going to have the same gaudy coloring.
It did well. It was
The
even
colors
more
are there for
gaudy.
a
The
reason.
brain showing through on the one robot's head. I mean,
I think that's there for a reason. But
now, like the woman's costume, you don't really tell she's a robot except she has like cyborg eyes.
really
Those were really
eyes.
cool.
The colors are there for a reason, which is explained
They explain it in the movie.
everywhere but the movie.
They explained it in the movie too. They said like red's bad and blue's good, and he's like the halfway point between bad and good.
Oh.
The idea is the red is supposed to be rage, and the blue is rage and humanity, and the blue is rage and humanity, and the other one is tranquility and logic is blue.
Yeah.
Which is also why the clawed hand is on the
on
red
one
side.
hand.
Yeah.
So I didn't get that. That must have been when I was getting chips.
Yeah, that was like one of the many scientists talking to each other scenes that slowed it down, kind of.
See, I'm with Raj on this, because anytime if there were robots fighting robots, it was cool. If there were action sequences going on, it was cool. Once they started going in any other direction, basically, if you were trying to be an action movie, you were great. If you were trying to be a drama, it was bad.
Yeah.
Because they didn't invest in it.
Yeah, they did. Well, you didn't have time.
Every interaction with her classmates was pathetic at best. Oh, you're going to America?
Yeah.
Find us some hunks.
Okay.
These girls have got to have more in their life than just liking
Just
boys.
very stereotypical.
Oh my god. The newspaper guy, he's okay.
The junk guy's great.
Junk guy
The junk
is
guy's one of my favorite
funny.
characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything involving the scientists were boring.
Boring technological crap.
Well,
meant to.
It wasn't even technology. It was all
I
like,
think it's meant to show backstory, but then half the time you just kind of.
yeah. It's like I have a rival with you. I don't really care. I'm making robots that are awesome.
All right,
1
then.
year later,
Yeah, really.
Dad's dead. Wait, why? How? What happened?
A robot
I think-
killed him.
And then they tried to do the narration at the shrine where, they're praying, saying goodbye to their father because he's buried there or entombed there or whatever with his ashes.
Next time.
But, like,
It was before you got here.
it's like, I appreciate you trying to tell us what's going on, but maybe shut the hell up at the graveside. Have a little decency.
Let me ask this. Would you have been happier if they had a lower budget, slightly lower caliber effects, but if they had maybe 3 70-minute movies instead of one, 104-minute movie to actually be able to tell the story properly?
I don't know because I don't know what the story should be.
But it felt like to me that something you said at one point, Raj, where you said, and now you've reached the second level of this boss fight.
Yeah.
It really feels like if you watch the movie,
It's like a video game, more or less.
Well, yeah, but it feels like there were 3 stages to this story. Step 1, the origin of Kikaider. Step 2 is him getting his ass beaten. Step 3 is the end with him
Making
and
it over
Gil.
that hump.
Well, I mean, that's traditional in storytelling. The problem
Right,
is that
but-
it's just so fast and so compact. So, yeah, probably three little miniseries movie thing would be really good, but I don't know what it's supposed to look like to begin with.
Yeah.
So,
And I think that's
because the other side coin is, You mean I might have to watch this crap for 210 minutes?
Yeah, really.
But you know what? Here's the thing. I think that's probably this movie's greatest weakness. You knew nothing about Kikaider coming in. And you still know nothing about Kikaider
Going out.
realistically.
Kikaider's the bad robot.
No,
it's the
Kikaider was the good guy.
robot.
I thought he was the bad one with the brain in his
No,
head.
that's
I was confused because I'm like, why are they naming the movie after the bad guy?
No, the bad guy's Kikaider.
Kikaider.
Kikaider and Kikaider.
Oh,
Kikaider
whatever.
brain. Kikaider blue guy.
Whatever.
So there you go. That's what's wrong with this movie in a nutshell. Is it's a reboot movie that I think absolutely fails
To reboot.
to reboot the franchise.
Story.
It does not introduce a new audience. You have to know about it before you actually get all of it.
Yeah, and you really shouldn't have to have prior knowledge before you go.
There's
to
a
see
lot
movie
of
that's
there's a
starting
lot
story.
of fun things in it,
Mm.
but it's not enough to save it.
Shout out to the junk man
Yeah, the jump.
And the cute robot girl.
it
and the cute robot girl.
is if you stop and think about it, it really is.
It's a battle of tropes.
Well, yeah, but it's. I'm trying to think of the right phrasing here.
Watered down Terminator 2?
Well, no, yes and no, but no, it's.
There are a lot of parallels.
I think it's emblematic of everything that is wrong with this movie when the junk guy, who is a supporting character, the female robot, who
is a supportive character.
who is a part-time antagonist,
Yeah,
Yeah.
a plot device.
and Professor Gill, even after he becomes Kikaider, are the three most developed characters in this
yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
And it's two supporting characters and the villain, who doesn't really become the villain until the end.
Yep.
I mean,
So-
Jiro's walking around with a guitar for the whole movie. And he never uses it till the end. Mike had to tell me why he has a guitar.
Yeah, and he plays it twice in the movie. Which, if you are a fan of Kikaider and you know the lore, that's a nice touch. But, and when I first saw it, I was like, okay, that's a cool update. Because when I saw the case, I was like, okay, it's going to be an electric guitar. Whereas in the original series, it was an acoustic.
Yeah.
That's a cool update.
That's a neat little nod to the fandom.
Yeah, but it's...
But new people going into it won't catch stuff like that.
Not necessarily. So, one thing we've never done on this show before, and we're not really going to start now, we've never done ratings, but we are going to say, would you recommend this to someone that's never seen Tokusatsu before? Is this Toku 101? 2018, we're going to resurrect an old question on this show.
I'd say no. I'd say I have other tokusatsu I'd recommend.
I think that's the ghost of Shotaro Shinomori wondering where the plot was in his movie.
More than likely.
Yeah, I'm going to go, no, hell no.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. This is not Toku 101.
I'm not even sure I would let it in a Toku class at all.
Yeah.
It's not Toku 101. It's not Toku 201.
If they're a fan of Kikaider from the old school, I would recommend them watch this.
That would be
That's
about
like
it.
a real niche.
Well, are
market
you
right
a fan
there.
of the original?
I saw like a little bit of the anime forever ago.
Are you?
I've seen bits of the anime and I've seen bits of the old show, so I knew more going in.
Well, did you
But
like the movie?
I did. Did I like this movie overall? No.
Did you say the same guy did Cyborg 009 or something like that?
Shotaro Shinomori created both. Shotaro
okay.
Shinomori created Cyborg 009, Kikaider, Kamen Rider, Go Ranger, and Jacker. So he basically created Super Sentai.
Yeah.
He also created Anuzaman, Kaiketsu Zubat. He was prolific as hell.
Nice.
So,
Did
and
you-
I think he worked on Astro Boy.
Oh, cool.
I'm
Did
not
you
positive.
like the movie?
I liked it pretty well. I thought it could have done better in places because it has throwbacks to Terminator 2. You could see how Terminator 2 influenced it. You
Yes,
see
you can.
overall influences from Astro Boy, a small robotic boy looking for a soul,
Right.
looking for the goodness in humanity. Why should I protect them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Kind of a morality play on different levels, and then he finally just that's what I took away from it though.
And he got more out of it than most people will.
I read
think.
read between the lines. Some
You
of these
do.
movies nowadays they have like a hidden message they want to try and put across, and I try and analyze it and go for that and see what they're trying to say to me.
And they were going for that morality play, but they confused the hell out of everybody in the process. So, so folks, I think that's pretty much going to wrap up this episode of Denzicaster. So, real quick, both of y'all are on 8-Star Anime.
Yeah.
So, what are we looking forward to coming up on 8-Star Anime? This is
I don't know.
that's a cheap plug.
Me neither.
We're about to tape an episode. You should know what's
Oh,
coming
well,
up on
that
this.
episode, we're going to watch, what is it, War in the Pocket?
We're gonna watch that on 8-Star Anime.
I do know that we've talked to Samantha about doing Miyazaki Monthly.
Uh-huh.
So she would come every month and bring a Miyazaki film that we've not watched.
That's not much. That's not
At
much
this
left.
point, I don't know how many y'all got
Oh,
left to go.
she says there's like 20-something films. Easy.
I'm waiting-
She's gonna pull all the weird ones out.
We only need
I don't think-
12.
You haven't done You haven't done Natsuki and the Valley of the Wind, which was technically Miyazaki before Studio Ghibli.
Yeah, we're not worried about Studio Ghibli per se.
You see, I'm waiting for y'all to do Lupin the Third. I'm waiting for y'all to do
I'd
Castle
like to be there.
Cagliostro.
I'd like to be there for that one.
So,
I love Lupin. Lupin's one of my favorite anime, just hands down.
at some point, I suspect we need to do an episode. It's not a tokusatsu movie,
We should do the live action
but
Lupin.
we should do the live action version of Lupin the Third,
That was a pretty
which
well
was
done movie.
actually really good. So,
And you won't hear me say that much. Live action movies of anime are normally awful.
yes, but the live action Lupin the Third was very well done.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of stuff coming up on Chopsaki Cinema, but I doubt even he knows the schedule because I've got a backlog of episodes at the moment.
Oh yeah, we've done a lot of stuff, and then we most recently watched Fist of the North Star, and that was a special kind of torture to put us through. So that's
Yeah, you can expect to see that one sometime either in February or March show up here on the network. So,
watch us get tortured. It's great.
unless it's like really, really funny, and then I might put it up earlier.
Uh-oh.
So,
Well, what do you got going on?
well, let's see. On the Denzi Blitz, we're right now going through Uchu Keiji Scheider, Space Sheriff Scheider, which thus far not as good as Space Sheriff Gavin, but has probably the strongest female antagonist or female protagonist in any early 80s tokusatsu show, period. The female sidekick in that show is Annie, and she is freaking awesome.
Nice.
Did she get her gun?
She gets 2.
Nice.
And then Denzi now, once a month right now, we are watching Kamen Rider Build, which is freaking fantastic. If you're not watching it, you need to. And we're going to start watching Lupin Ranger versus Pato Ranger, which will be the new Super Sentai show that's going to start in February. We're going to take that for a whirl for at least 8 episodes and see how we like it. And we tried Power Rangers Ninja Steel. I watched the first 8 episodes of that, and that was hot garbage.
The last Denzicaster I got to be a part of, we watched some Power Ranger thing where there was like 13 Power Rangers or something.
We watched. We didn't do
One
an
was
episode.
a Wolfman.
We didn't watch. We didn't do it on the show. But we watched. That was Q Ranger, and I have. That show was a little off the wall even for me. So there you go.
I remember Larissa being real excited about it.
She was, and if we can get her to come back on the show, then we'll watch more of it.
Richie said we need to finish the Ninja.
Uh,
He said it gets much
Richie's
better.
a damn liar.
that's the show Ninja Steel is based off of, wasn't it?
Well, it's 2016. I don't know what Ninja Steel is.
The Power Ranger show. That
I never
they based
watched
off
it.
of. I know, but that's the current Power Ranger show, and it's based on a ninja. And I was like, oh god! I watched the first 8 episodes.
Really?
And I watched the first 8 episodes because it dropped on Netflix, and I was like, it can't be worse. It, honest to God, cannot be worse than the ninja.
It is.
Come to find out,
Did they keep the same robots?
Oh yeah, it's not worse.
Did they explain
It's
why
just
in that one? Why they?
No.
Awesome.
It's not worse.
Man.
It's just a different kind of bad.
Man.
So.
The
There's so many
ninja.
layers of bad.
Isn't he the one that kept yelling, "I'm fired up"?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the American version has some variation of that catchphrase for some reason.
Ooh.
Here's the thing, folks. If you want to stop watching at this point, I'll forgive you.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna.
We're going back to Denzicaster 2016.
Yeah, see, established 2016 says it on the jacket. Which, by the way, you can pick up the merchandise now at cafepress.com/Geek Carolina. Go over there and check it out.
Carolina.
The premise for Ninja Steel was so incredibly promising because it was basically a Power Rangers version of the Running Man, where all of these monsters and criminals and whatnot from across the galaxy are being brought to different planets and are sent down by the champion of a show called Galaxy Warrior in order to find something, and if they beat the champions of that planet and retrieve whatever the MacGuffin is, they win, and they go home or whatever. If they don't, well, then they probably got blowed up in the process and they don't have to worry about it. Well, when they get to Earth, he sends them down, and Earth is protected by the Power Rangers, who are using the MacGuffin he's after as their power source. And so it all becomes, he's going to send down one monster after another, and the Power Rangers to the rest of the galaxy are the heels because they're beating all the contenders on Galaxy Warriors.
Wow.
And the monsters are the good guys that the fans want to
Sign
see
your
win.
insurance waivers.
Yeah. But with all that said, and the idea, I think, is that the original premise was, you get the vibe, okay, but eventually the fans will turn and all this, and the Power Rangers will be the hero of the people and all that. No, that is not what this show is.
The only real question in my heart is, UFO Maru, does he make an appearance?
Oh, of course he does.
Excellent.
Of course he does. All the goofy robots do.
Excellent.
So,
The only good thing about Ninja to me was that they were family.
not in this one.
Ugh.
And one other thing.
Granddad still there?
I will say, no. No.
Oh, man.
What about Ernie?
No.
Man.
But I will say this.
Bert?
Not that.
The cast of Ninja Steel is actually a really good cast, and if you want to see Peter Sidarso, who is the Blue Ranger in that show, who is Power Rangers super fan, he's the brother of the guy that played Kota on Power Rangers Dino Charge, which is a damn good show, and you want to see him in a Power Rangers product that does not suck, then go check out Power Rangers Hyper Force on Hyper RPG, because he's the Red Ranger on that, and it's a pen and paper role-playing game for Power Rangers, been officially licensed. It is canon, and
Nice.
he is the Red Ranger on that. Bulk is the Yellow Ranger.
Cool.
Paul Schreier plays the Yellow Ranger on that.
That's beautiful.
So it's a fun show.
Both got a happy ending.
So folks, after we have sidebarred for way too long, until next time, I'm Mike.
Roger.
David.
We'll see you next time on Denzicaster.